Hello and welcome to another episode of 11 Somerset. In the last episode, we explored Professor Jones's creature, which turned out to be an albino-related question. In episode 5, we're going to take a look at the deadly skull.
Anthony's been hearing and seeing some strange things. The eyes of the skull that his grandmother gave him light up sometimes. Visit his house and find an explanation for this phenomenon, but be careful.
Yes, so in this episode we are going to have a look at the skull, or the crystal skull, which you probably are familiar with. And if you are, it's going to make this episode a little bit easier. We have to collect the clues and find out why this skull is lighting up. So let's get straight to it. So we're going to start at the outside of the Murad house, where we will find some fluorescent and light objects like this reflector here. And the sign. Also the moon, ideal for voodoo, which we will learn some more about later on. And there's a clue over here which is hard to spot, but is actually a ritual drawing of some kind. And then we have the bug zapper, which you can hear on the background, which is, quite a neat trick. So let's go up to the front porch, and we have to find a way in. If we turn this mask, we'll find the key, well hidden, but not well enough. So on the table we see the crystal skull, or the skull, which is inactive at the moment, but it says that it might be useful to carry it around to different rooms in the house to see if it lights up, and that's what we're actually going to do straight away. So if we pick up the skull and bring it near this radio, it makes a whole lot of noise, and that's basically because the skull is affected by the radio waves in there. So that's another clue. We have a voodoo doll here, which pretty eerie. And what else do we have here? A portrait, which only lights up when we're in front of it. So that's another reference to the voodoo. Let's enter this room. Okay, this is clearly a bedroom of some sorts with the Haitian flag, which is the center where voodoo developed. So another voodoo reference. The computer, which is not active, but when we take our skull, we actually do get a result. So that means that the skull is affected by the computer. Well. Can other things in the house produce the same effect? Well, we're going to find out, because right on this dresser here is a remote control, which we will use later on. But first, have a look at this this piece of clothing, which is a fluorescent coat. Another form of light emitting, as well as this alarm clock. Speaking of alarm, this alarm goes off, and that means that we have found all the clues for this episode. But well, at least we found enough to see the answer module. But we are going to look for some more clues, and we are just going to stay here for a while in this room, because we didn't see this book, which is actually quite cool. It's the Shrunken Heads, and explains how they actually made this happen by removing the bones and filling it with sand. Yeah, it is quite eerie. And I think that's it for this room. So we're going to head outside because we can now open the garage door. Okay. So the first thing you'll hear is some cars on the background, and they actually come from this television set. So we're gonna try and see if we can get more results. Yes, more electromagnetic fields. So getting closer to the truth, which is no, Jason is not behind this one, but something else is. And that is a big clue. Crystals. And the last clue is this skeleton, phantom figure. Right, let's go and see what we can find in the answer here. So the question is, what's the cause of this skull lighting up? And we can choose between crystal, voodoo spirit, or phosphorescent material. And we did have a lot of phosphorescent material. We did have a lot of voodoo reference as well. But it is actually the crystal that makes that skull light up. So if you take the images of the skull reacting to the various objects, then we'll see that we're correct, and we've got all the points. You could also put in the book, which we found in the end, and that clears the mystery of the skull with the weird eyes. I hope you enjoyed this one, and follow me for the next episode, which will be gigantic insects. So take care now, bye bye.